Microphone check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Looks like I'm streaming. Microphone check 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Where's my stream? Microphone levels look good. Okay, there's my stream. What's good, guys and girls? Let's see what my lag is. Hopefully it's less than 7 seconds. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Okay, it's a little more than 7 seconds, whatever. It's all good. Alright, so what are we doing? Basically I'm going over MPC essentials in a workflow tutorial series to get you guys up to speed with this program, because I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm done. Got MPC Studio 2.0, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the base of what this program can do, and I'll just give you a bunch of tools. I won't go over everything, but you'll be well versed when I get done with this. So yeah. All right, so you're looking at the screen. This this tutorial will basically go over the workspace area in the middle, the gray area with the blue bar. You got A1, A2, A3, A4, all of this crap in this area here. What the heck does that mean? I don't know. So no, I actually do know. And so I'll be helping you guys out and hooking you guys up so that you can figure out what's going on here. All right, so yeah, I got about like a 10 or 11 second lag, so that's what my connection is doing right now. I'm not gonna trip. All right, so where to start? Where to start? I'll also be doing pad correlation. So if you're looking at pad 1 through 8, oh, I got that lit. Pads 1 through 8, and then pads 9 through 16, I'll be doing a correlation. Actually, don't forget to hit program select and pad 6 every time you turn your mini on, or every time you boot your laptop up, so that you can get the correct corresponding pad with the ones on the screen. So pad 1 here will be A1 on the screen, pad 2 will be A2, A3, A4, so on and so forth. So we got 6, 7, 8. Then when I change, we got 9, 10, 11, and you should be seeing those light up on the screen as well. All right, 14, 15, 16 sample chops, drums, whatever you want to put on those pads. All right, so how does that correlate to the workspace? I guess that's the easiest way. What do these pads have to do with this gray screen? All right, that's a good place to start. All right, so this will be really quick. I'm gonna go through this really quick. Like, don't be slow. Please don't be slow. A1 here, which is pad 1 here, is A1 in the workspace. So if I go to A2, that would be A2 here, and then that would be pad 2 here. Oops, go back. Pad 2 here. It's got to be highlighted green. All right, so on and so forth. A3 here is pad 3, which is also A3 in the workspace screen. Okay, so on and so forth, all the way up to the banks in H, right? Well, you might say, hey brother, how do I get my pads to correspond with bank B and bank C and bank D and bank E through H? My answer to that is, you could sit there and try to sequence with your program editor, which your Akai MPK mini editor software, the programs 1 through 4. But I would tell you that that would be tedious. Banks A through H are basically there for key groups, and key groups will probably be the next video that I do. But just stick to bank A right now. If you're a beginner, forget about it. That's too much information for you right now. All right, so you got pads 1 through 16 in bank A, right? That corresponds with A1 through A16 in program 2 on your mini, right? So what does that mean? That means that everything that you do on these pads will ultimately determine what happens on these particular I will call them fields. In the mixer view, they would be channels, and let me do a little demonstration for that. I'm going to go inside of Elements of Dystopia. It's a free joint, and I'm just going to load up a program, the disintegrated circuit kit, whatever. It don't mean anything. And I should have my headphones on. Let me grab some headphones. I made it back before it stopped loading. Okay, let me plug these young headphones in real quick. Alright. Bada bing, bada bip. So basically what just happened is I just loaded up a kit. So everything that you see in the on the gray pads on screen correspond with the pads on the mini. And you can also see that the samples in the workspace corresponds with what's here. So you'll see kick 37 here. If you look at A1 in the workspace, you see kick 37 here. Same thing with pad, I don't know, let's just say 9. Pad 9 is a clap 27. Pad 9 here. Wait, no, that's pad 8. Pad 9 here is a bent underscore 14. Pad here is bent underscore 14. So the workspace also works as a mini mixer. You have a muting button here. You also have a soloing button here. I would only suggest using those when you're doing some MIDI editing, but it's all on you. The thing I want to point out is when I hit a pad, so I hit pad 1, which is kick 37, A1 here in the workspace. Let me turn my full level on. Alright. Kick 1 on pad 2. That's nice. Hi-hat on pad 3. Hi-hat pad 4. Snare pad 5. Pad 6 is another snare. So yeah, get your EDM on. Alright, so so pads 1 through 16 correspond with everything that's in the workspace here, right? Bada bing, bada bip. Now, the thing that I wanted to show you why I loaded this drum kit up is to kind of highlight the menu up top. So you have a menu up here of flavors, and the first flavor is the main mode. The second one is program edit. The third one is program mixer, which I'm about to get into. You have the next sequence. You have the sample record. You have the sample edit. You have the song edit. You have the pad mute, the step sequencer, and also the MIDI control for any outboard gear like a Mackie or something like that. Alright, so I'm going to go into the mixer and I'm going to lightly touch on this. This is actually another tutorial, but in MPC Essentials you do not get more than one track. All you get is pads. So once you load a sample on a pad, you get a channel for that pad. And so here you can see pad 1. I'll click it on screen with my mouse, not like the other cake, this one. When I click this pad, it sounds off and you can see the VU meter jumping up, and I have my voluming, I have my panning here, I have my solo and my mute buttons, and I can even also turn on a insert slot, or I can turn on the inserts, and I have 4 slots here. That's another tutorial. I'll do that later. But I was basically showing you guys this to say, here in pad A2, it corresponds with A2 here, right? Which also corresponds with pad 2 here. So if I was to record notes for pad 2, all of those notes will be where this blue line represents for that particular sample. Okay, so now, or that particular kick sample. So we're only talking about the workspace, not the mixer. I'm going to go back to the main area. As you can see, all of these samples that are on the pads have loaded into your sample bin over here on the right, all the way to the right. And so I really like this kick. So I'm going to double click it really quick. And it's automatically in the top menu going to take me to the sample edit screen. And so from here I can do a bunch of stuff. That's another tutorial that I'm going to do. But basically the pad area here cannot be controlled by the mini, and the cue links, let me go back to the main screen, here on the left hand side, cannot be controlled by the knobs. Those are only for MPC outboard interfaces like the MPC Studio, the MPC Renaissance, the MPC X, the MPC Live. So your mini has functionality with these programs, but this is the very first MPC program, and so it was designed for those interfaces and not for the mini, but the mini kind of came in the game at the right time. So that basically breaks down what this area is and what it does. When it comes to actual MIDI notation, and maybe I should get into that a little bit. I'm not sure how long I should make this video, but let's make this tempo a nice little boots and pants tempo. And right below the menu up top, you have tools. You have your pencil tool, your selection tool, you have your erase tool, you have your I want to say pattern stack tool. It's not a pattern stack tool, it's the show list. And basically that's a editor where you can either real-time edit your notes and volumes and length of notes and things like that, or you can just take a look and see what you played. There's also an undo button and there's a redo button. Alright, be careful with those. If you go all the way across to the right, you'll see total bars. So right now I'm gonna drag this up to 4 bars just because that's how I feel right now. And the time correct, maybe I should get into that a little bit. That may be another video, but okay, time corrects is 16, which is also 1/16 notes. I actually have a video, but that's only going over hi-hat. So as that correlates with the workspace, 16, I'll hit the drop down menu. That's 1/16 notes. So for each measure here up top in the blue bar, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then this would be the 5th measure, or 1 would be the loop. It would loop back to 1 when the cursor goes. So I'm gonna press play really quick. So you hear the metronome popping, right? So once it goes to 4, it will loop back to 1, and that's why it's called a loop. So now the metronome highlights every beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are beats. 2, 3, 4. Back to 1. So each one of those beats is 4 beats in a measure, right? There's 16 beats in 4 measures. 4 times 4, right? 4 over 4. So this 16 represents each one of those beats. And so you can also break that up into 30 seconds. You can also break that up into 64th triplets. That's the highest resolution that you have on here. And that may be a little advanced for some of you guys. But so I'll keep it on 1/16. When you have the time correct set to 16ths, everything that you play will be rounded up to the nearest 16th note, the nearest beat. So there's 16 beats. So if you play anything in between 1, 2, if you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, those notes where I'm saying and will be rounded up or down depending on how close you are to the next or the previous beat. So keep that in mind. So that's how that correlates. The swing, don't really worry about swing right now. It's there. That's for your producers who want to add that human feel to some of your instruments and whatnot. But you need to kind of do some research on swing before you start using that. All right. So yeah, your swing is there. We're on sequence 1. You can turn your scroll on and off here. You can turn on your automation, which is located. Let's see if we can scroll down just a little bit over here. If you look at the automation window, it's in the gray area to the bottom left. You can choose the program, and you can also choose what you want to edit, the voluming, the panning, how hard the note hits, the velocity, and all of those things. You can use the pencil tool to do that, or you can do it in real time with your MIDI, and all of that syncs to your time correct as well. So it can get kind of tricky if you have this set to, I don't know, say 1 bar, and then you're trying to write panning. It will only sync to each bar. So keep that in mind. That's a little advanced as well. So yeah, you have a half view mode here, where you can look at the pads and the workspace, or you can blow the workspace up so that you can see all of your automation, all of your samples that you have loaded and things like that. Okay, really smooth. All right, let me go back to the other area, and that's good. You got your MPC Essentials logo right there. All right, so let me give you guys a little quick demonstration really quick, if I can. Okay, that went horribly. I'm gonna Command Z or undo out of all of that, and then I'm gonna hit overdub and then play from start and give myself a count in this time. 3, 4. Looks like I had some notes that I wasn't trying to write in there. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what I wanted you guys to notice that in the workspace, you have the snare here, right? Every 8th note, it captured the snare. Same thing with the kick. Every 8th note. Oh, wrong kick. Capture the kick. And so that's basically what the workspace does in your workflow. It captures the notes visually, and you can see what the pads are playing, right? And so then from this point you can use your tools. Let's just say, I don't know, I don't like this area of notes. You can go in there and say delete. I just highlighted those. Let me undo that. You can use your undo button up top. I like Control Z, or for Windows people, Command Z. I like Command Z. For Windows people, Control Z. You can also use your pencil tool, right? Go in there and say, hey, I want another snare right here, another snare right here, and another snare right here. Bada bing. And you could write notes in if for some reason, I don't know, you decide you want to cross over. I know a lot of Fruity Loops cat likes to use the mouse and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna Control A, Control Z, delete all of that. Control A, Control Z, Control A. No, I'm undoing. Control A, delete. So I'm gonna delete all of that. So no matter whether you're playing samples or piano keys or whatever, this workspace will capture those notes, and you can go in there and wait. Let me go back really quick. You can also can I undo that? You can also go in and edit the length of your notes by holding the end. Okay, I think I had the wrong tool. Command Z. Wrong tool. Let me go to the pencil tool and draw. Okay, so you can also edit the length of your notes here. And let's just say if you don't like this kick and you wanted it to be this kick, you can just drag that note down to a different pad or a different selection. So once you have your note in the right place, you can drag it anywhere on the screen you want. You can also go to the mixer and then I want to use a big word. You can delegate what type of volume that you want to have on it, and you can also delegate what type of VST sound, whether it be some type of reverb or whatever on that particular pad. And the workspace is really intuitive that way, and so it's a really good. These are really good tools to have, just to have under your belt when it comes to the workspace, because it's really there's a lot more crap that you can do than what I'm showing you, but these are just really good tools that I learned and that I use and that I implement. Okay, so again, the cue links, you cannot control these. You can use your mouse to control them, but unless you have a interface like a MPC Studio or a MPC Live or something like that, you can't control these cue links over here. But you can also you can always use your mouse, and you can also edit them. But I'm really just only talking about the workflow workspace here. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it with the workspace. Let's go into the full view mode. All right, here in the automation area, you can see these little red lines. I can highlight the top of the line and I can determine what volume I want that particular sample to be at. And as you see, as I drag the volume down, or it calls it velocity, as I drag the velocity down, the color changes. And so a really weakly played sample will be yellow, but a full volume sample will be red. And so depending, you'll see this, you'll see a plethora of colors if you're like playing a piano VST or something like that. I like to keep mine on full level because I like my drums to really bang. The only time I turn it down or turn the full level off if I'm playing, like, I don't know, some type of hi-hat or something. But you can always highlight the sample that you want to edit, the velocity, and then bada bing, change the volume of that particular sample. Or you can highlight all the samples, Command A, and then you can bring the volume down on all of them, which I do not recommend doing, but for you weirdos out there that like to do stuff like that, you can do that. Okay, so when it comes to the automation let's just say I want to, hold on. Okay, when it comes to automation, let's just say I want to change the volume for this kick, but I want it to fluctuate. So my highest resolution is 64 triplets, so I'll turn that on, and then I'll grab my pencil tool, right, and then I'll just begin to write the volume in here with my pencil, right. This works better with keys or whatever, but as you can see, I'm editing the automation with my mouse, and let's see, there's a lot of different options. Again, there's so many different things that you can do. I'm trying to give you guys the basics, but the best advice I can give you is just go in here and learn for yourself, like figure it out. You feel me? Like you gotta kind of experiment, because some of this stuff you can't really get from a book. These are tools that I use. Okay, so I'm gonna delete all of that. Bada bing, bada bip. In the chat section, you guys, does anybody have any questions about workflow? If nobody has a question about workflow, this mug is done. done. Voluming, panning. From the workflow view, I would say that's it. Couple more things. From the workflow view, my last video was the workflow browser joint. Go watch that. I'm just going to pull up the samples really quick, but I'm going to start from a new project. I'm going to go from scratch. Do not want to save this. Okay, also from the browser, let me go to from the browser. What you can do, did I write that? I don't remember writing that. I heard it, maybe in my pad. From the workflow, I'm sorry, from the browser, you can take any given sample. Let's just say clap 10 here. I want to drag that onto A5. Bada bing, it's going to load A5 up, drop it in the sample bin, and from A5 on my mini, I can play that joint. Let's play it softly. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. Okay, let me start playing. All right, so bada bing, bada bip. You can drop your sample in that way with the workspace. Let's see what else. I showed you guys how to automate that, and good to go. Yeah, workspace tutorial done. So again, I'll be doing some tutorials on the workflow on MPC Essentials. The next one I'm going to be doing is a program edit. This beast right here. Although I may decide to do the key groups, but yeah, program edit, this beast right here. Very confusing, very intimidating. I'll try to make it as simple as possible for you guys. And yeah, I'm done. I'm out. All right. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You dig. Click on the donate button on the profile page, and also there's drum kits you can download for free in the description of this video. Follow my social media crap that's on the right side of the screen. It's brother. I'm up out of this piece. Thank you for. I think I'm right on the brink of 3,000 subscribers, which is really amazing. Really, really amazing. But yeah, peace, one love.